Hey everyone, and welcome to Almost Cancelled. I'm Peter, that is Connor, and we are going to talk about Doctor Who Season 11, Episode 8. It's called The Witchfinders. So, full spoilers for the episode, as always. So, it's funny because she ends up with her fake ID saying that she's a Witchfinder General, which...
Psychic paper.
Psychic paper, whatever. It's a fake ID. That's what it is. That's what it accomplishes. And I laughed because that's what I was actually thinking about when I was watching this up until that point. Is there's a movie called Witchfinder General, set in the same general area and
Right.
about the general premise of witch hunts in England in the time period, starring Vincent Price, which I saw years ago, and I was thinking about that as I was watching this. I'll be honest, it was a big hat more than anything else that was making me think of it, but it was general thing. So when she said that, I was like, yeah. So that was like the one other thing I've seen about English witch trials was that movie.
It's a very unexplored area in cinema, or it feels that way.
It feels that way. I think there was some exploitation movies in the '60s and stuff like that.
Oh, yeah, I'm not saying that there's none. I'm saying
Yeah.
comparatively, it feels like there's a lot less.
Oh yeah, you think of witch trials, you think of Salem. That's just what you
Yeah.
think of right away. There's no comparison, but it was a thing. King James the Sixth, if I'm getting my number right. He was adamant about witches and Satan and kind
I
of
thought it was James the First, but
is both.
oh, is he?
King James the Sixth in Scotland was King James the First in England.
See, I thought he was Scottish. Yeah, whatever.
Yeah, so he's actually King James the Sixth. I don't really necessarily want to claim him in this case because he's a bit of a dick, but
We never learned Scottish history.
not did I.
Yeah, but we clearly just have a slightly different perception.
He's King James the Sixth. Look up his Wikipedia.
No. I believe you. I just mean when we were taught these things in passing, that wasn't really mentioned in England.
No. He's King James the Sixth. But because England didn't have a King James before him, they sort of dual branded him as King James the First.
Because that's the real one.
Yeah, because the 5 King James before that just are erased from history.
Oh,
Sure.
no, but they exist. It's 1 to 5 of Scotland, and then 1. It's a renumbering. It's a relaunch.
Then the next one was 7.
Obviously.
Do you know what this is? This is England being dicks with zombie
Then
flesh eaters. With Zombie 2 becoming Zombie 1, and then going, you know what? We don't want to call Zombie 3 Zombie 2. We'll just call it Zombie 3, and then it just gets confusing.
It's every Marvel comic series in the past decade.
Yes. You're Marvel. You're changing numbering, yeah, filthy bastards.
Yeah, you're all over the place. I can't keep up.
You got Alan Cumming playing King James,
Yes.
doing a bit of pantomime essentially. He's a bit over the top because he's
He
Alan
is
Cumming.
very over the top
Um,
in a charming way.
and he's obviously very against witches, and you got the Doctor and the crew. I thought it was kind of weird how this one started with them. Just there, yeah. There was like no bleed in whatsoever. They were just walking through, and it was like within 30 seconds the bell was ringing for the witch trial, and I was like, oh, we're just going straight into it. All right, no time to get
We
acquainted.
haven't got time to waste this time.
No time to waste. No. So it covers all at the same ground you think it probably would. The idea of the witch trials being unfair witch hunts, hence the phrase "it's a witch hunt," and just going through those kind of similar emotions. But there's also alien mud monsters with tentacles, what kind of tentacles, to possess dead people who have been prosecuted as witches and bring them back to life. That's the whole thing.
Zombie witches.
Yes. Basically, this episode was just me counting down to when the Doctor's accused of being a witch, because that's always where it was going to go.
It was, yeah.
There was no, she's walking around with her magic screwdriver, she's saying weird things. There's no way she's not going to accused.
Time, yeah.
Yeah, there's no way it wasn't happening, and it does. I thought this one was well shot, actually. I'll start with a compliment.
The shots of the forest in particular were just gorgeous.
I thought the general color palette, they did a really good job of having a distinct look compared to a lot of the other episodes, where it feels fitting for the time period, fitting for the subject.
It had a very a creepy atmosphere to the visuals.
And there was a nice shot towards the end. It was after King James, because we're in spoilers, of course. King James burns Becca, who's the sort of the lead witch hunter of the area, who turns out to have been infected with this alien technology.
Yes.
And he burns her anyway at the end. And there's a shot of the Doctor looking back at him while it's pouring in rain, but there's like a flame in the foreground as well. It was just a really nice shot. It was really cinematic. So that was sticking out to me more than anything else in this episode. As for the plot, it was okay.
Yeah.
I'm not really feeling it one way or the other.
It was pretty straightforward by the numbers. Hey, witch hunter stuff.
Yeah. It didn't really set my world on fire, but it didn't do anything that upset me either. It was just kind of...
That's fine. I agree with that. I think the plot's pretty straightforward, but I think it's with the creepy atmosphere and the visuals, it kind of nudges it into, okay, this is pretty good overall.
I almost wonder if it should have been a two-parter, or if they should have gotten to the reveal of what was actually going on a bit sooner, because it felt like once they revealed there were mud monsters or aliens infecting them,
kind of went a bit quick from there.
Yeah, it was like really quickly solution of just, let's get to the tree and then ta-da, solved. No crisis anymore. That was a bit weird, because the things that it should have been playing with more, perhaps, is if you just take that out, like have that be the cliff. Because I almost thought it was going to be a cliffhanger. Like I thought.
I did too, and I in the back of my head, it's like, I know that they've said no, there's no 2-part episodes. There's none of those this season. But even so, I was going.
Yeah, but it's episode 8, so it could be a 3-parter.
I mean, done it before.
Which is almost what I thought was going to happen. This was going to be an arc for the last few episodes, because I thought when Becca finally became like full, demony, witchy, alien
zombie thingy. Yeah.
I thought that when it cut to black, I was like, oh, it's going to hit the music, and then it didn't, and I was like, oh, it's all dealt with like 2 minutes later. I was okay, fair enough.
Yeah, pretty quick resolution, which is probably the most disappointing thing about the episode for me.
Do you know what the sad part is? And I know this is going to sound weird to some people. Some people who think this season's far too, SJW to use their term, is I actually think it didn't go far enough with some of its messaging.
Yeah, particularly with the stuff of what we're doing with the king.
Stuff with the king, and why he has these motivations, why he's getting away with it. I also think there's a point in this episode where the young girl they save, whose grandmother gets killed at the start, where she kind of turns her back on the Doctor and is convinced to sort of accuse her along with Becca. And I thought there could have been more to be played with that, and more about her feeling sorry about it afterwards. It was just kind of quickly brushed over.
I think the king stuff was most important for me, because it was very clear. It's like, okay, there's all these allusions here that he's into Ryan. He's terrified of women.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, this is why all this is happening, and it doesn't quite get into it. It's just it teases it enough that I get what's going on. I get what they're doing, but it doesn't outright do anything with it.
It feels undercooked. It feels like if you're going to do witch trials, you should go down that path, because that is really what the story has to be about.
Yeah.
Because that's the lesson to learn from that time period is the, oh, I don't like that woman, she's a witch. Oh, we'll just believe him because he's a man. All right, burn her, drown her, whatever the method of the land is at the time. That's what you explore.
Hanging, I believe, in England.
Hanging. Well, they were dunking in this one.
Well, dunking was the test. That wasn't the method.
Oh, so if they survive the dunking, they just get hung.
Then they get hanged, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Excellent. That's good to know.
Yeah.
It's good to know. So was burning just
It's an American thing.
That's just an American thing, okay.
Yeah.
I don't think either one's better or worse, to be honest. They're both pretty savage.
They are. Neither's ideal.
I mean, it's not like a quick shot to the head to do it painlessly was one of the options here.
No, either's going to hurt. I think burning sounds worse.
I think it sounds worse. I don't think it actually is, though. I think you suffocate in the fumes before you actually really feel the pain.
Quite possibly, yeah.
I'm pretty sure I also heard that after like X number of seconds burning, you stop feeling pain because all your pain sensors are just gone.
Hanging, it's potential that you can get really lucky and just, all right, neck snapped, you're gone.
You could get lucky, but you could also be dangling for a while.
Then you're dangling for a long time.
I think flames look scarier from the outside, but I don't know if it actually would be necessarily to experience.
Yeah, I'm with you.
I don't want to test either one though, so you're on your own, everyone. You can.
Damn it.
Go deal with that yourselves. So, yeah. Yeah, I think there was some fun stuff with Graham and him kind of enjoying being a Witchfinder. Well, not really being a Witchfinder, but at least playing the role of the boss. Like
Yes.
he was kind of into it. Um, the King being into Ryan was kind of amusing.
Mm,
His reactions, everyone else kind of staring at them a little bit. That was kind
yeah.
of funny. Especially since it's from this weird perspective where being the modern characters, Ryan's not that weirded out by it. It's not like he's like, oh, there's a guy into me. It's just, if anything, it's actually weirder that the guy in the past is the one who's,
Also, the fact that the guy is the king.
and the guy is the king. Yes,
I think that's partially why you should be weirded out. It's like, hey, this king's into me.
yes. He can order things potentially should he see fit in this stupid
Yeah.
archaic time. Um, so yeah, there was those fun little moments. I'd probably say it's one of the stronger episodes of the season, even though I still think I have some big problems with some of the elements. The sad truth is, we're at episode 8, and I'm like, nothing's measured up to Rosa. Like, nothing's even came in the same vicinity.
That's fair. I think this is a really solid episode. I think it's really good. I think it's elevated by the cinematography and the direction.
Yeah,
Um,
it makes up for some of the lackluster plot and undercooked elements.
I
Um,
think that's why it's maybe a little bit more frustrating as an episode in that I can see an amazing version of this as a two-parter.
this is going to sound sacrilegious maybe to some Doctor Who fans, but you could have almost just taken out the alien stuff. And
No,
just,
no, I agree. I think I
yeah,
said that a couple of episodes ago again. The India one.
yeah.
I felt like it's like I know they have to be there because it's Doctor Who, but like and it's just sometimes they just don't need to be there to be an amazing story.
I think the problem is with that one, I just wasn't that into the story overall anyway. But whereas this one, I can actually see the
I think sometimes Doctor Who could benefit from playing it as, hey, we're a time travel show. We can do just time travel. We don't have to have aliens in everything.
yeah. It could almost be a fun twist that there's nothing going on and just deal with it. It's just this evil woman who's accusing people, and that's all the episode is.
I'm
And
sure that's been done. It must have been.
what, in Doctor Who at some point?
Yeah,
Oh yeah. Oh, you mean the twist that there's nothing going on? It's just
yeah.
I'm sure. Yeah, I'm sure that. I mean, there's been enough episodes. They had to have done it
Someone's
once.
done that. Yeah,
They had to have done it once. But
yeah.
um, yeah. So no, it was okay. I mean, it's probably in the higher end of the season for me, but it's not really saying much. Like I feel oddly underwhelmed by this season. I was hoping that with a new showrunner that I'd feel a bit more enthused on an ongoing. And I was really excited after Rosa because Rosa was this like peak, and then
Yeah.
it's just not quite hit anything close to that since. So this is like a solid 7. It's just
I don't disagree with the 7 rating.
yeah.
I think I'm definitely feeling the season overall a bit more than you are. I'm a bit more enthused. I thought I was kind of get a bit sick of Moffat doing Moffat-y things,
Mm,
and Kibnall's doing things that are becoming kind of trademarks for him. Like I'm going,
yeah.
okay, so it's all the human behind it rather than the alien threat, right? It's the monster within us.
Yeah,
That's
which
kind of
is
his shtick so far, which I'm into.
yeah. I'm into that in theory. It just
Yeah,
needs to be
but don't get me wrong,
more
I could get
compelling.
sick of that. In the same way that I was into a lot of Moffat stuff at first, but I just kind of got sick of it not changing. So, for now, I'm perfectly fine with this.
I have to admit, I miss Russell T Davies. I feel like
That's certainly my favorite era
yeah,
of the new Who. Yeah.
yeah. So it's just because we only had the two of them before Chibnall, so it's just like we had. So before this, it was half Davies and half Moffat, and it was like, all right, I really liked that first half, and I was hoping this would be like new era of stuff that I really like, and so far it's not quite hit that. Um,
Hmm?
Part of me hopes it's maybe just a case of finding their feet. Maybe next season will be more
Yeah, I think,
consistently better.
as a general rule, a Doctor's second season is usually better than the first because often you get a lot of recycled scripts and elements from previous Doctors that don't usually fit the best. This has not been quite as bad as some seasons for this, but usually it takes a while for the writers to get the voices and everything running
Mm,
that then they can do the plots.
yeah,
Um, like some episode, like in Capaldi's first season, the one in the forest
the
and the
stupid tree
rock.
one. Yeah.
Yeah, that was such a Matt Smith episode. Like, it was such a Matt Smith fairy tale episode,
Hmm.
and it's just repurposed.
Aye. Stop being cheap and reusing the same scripts. No need for it.
Mm.
Write some bloody new ones. I mean, it's one of those things with Doctor Who. I feel like typically I like the characters. Typically I like the companions. There's very very few times where I don't feel that way.
It's true. And the handful of times that I do are usually some of my least favorite areas.
Yeah. Donna was a bit grating, but
Yeah, I want to be on. I didn't really like Martha that much either, to be honest.
I
They're,
like
pro-
Martha
they're,
well
they're
enough.
my low points of companions for the new Who.
Nah, Martha was fine, but Donna, just that complaining voice she did was just actually annoying.
It was, yeah. Yeah, I'm not arguing with you.
Dear. Anyway, so yeah, there you go. That's episode 8 of season 11. So let us know what you thought of this one in the comments below. Like, subscribe, all that stuff. Get us on the Twitters at mailed_fuzz for channel updates. If you want to support the channel and everything we do here, head over to patreon.com/mailfuzztv, and you can do that over there. But otherwise, that is us. So thank you once again for watching or listening. We always appreciate it. Keep watching TV, guys. Have you got any vanilla?